Thanks, Basil. I just want to give you a bit of an insight into the Saturday afternoon team. We're a bunch of unique individuals.
Hello and welcome to episode 27 of the Unique Individuals podcast. Good to have all the boys alongside me once again. How are we going, lads?
Yeah, happy to be here, mate, as usual. I've stuffed it up again, haven't I? Happy to be here. Should be a great episode, and it would be nice if I could get a sentence out once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's rattled from the Boston loss, but it's good to be here and can't wait.
Yeah, good to be here.
And Rhonda joining us via satellite.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Thanks for having me. Good to see your faces again.
Well, we can't see yours. I mean, you can just see Jackson's at the moment. But it's good.
I'll give you one lucky.
No, it's good to have you with us, Rhonda, and to the rest of the boys. And I guess we'll get stuck into what's been happening recently. Lots been happening at the Latrobe Footy Club. A couple of function nights to.
Hey, hold on.
No, well,
You're trying to get out of this, right?
What?
You finally had a punishment go your. Finally had a punishment that didn't result in your favour.
I can't recall.
And I believe a team by the name of the Geelong Cats had a loss on Saturday, and I think we need to get on top of that before we get started. So
we don't have to.
Well, I guess do you have that, Mansell? Do you have that intel to nail it down and tell the viewers what he's going to be copying?
So
well, nothing, because there's been nothing suggested.
Well,
that's it has to be suggested on
private
No,
DMs.
that's terrible. No, because I need
suggestions.
You don't need to see it, mate.
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose of the punishment.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
please, boys, I can't afford this right now.
You know, we'll actually start off with Connor, because Connor also had a punishment. But that being said, it was from the same game. It was Geelong to beat GWS, and I was actually watching the game with Connor, and Connor actually said to me in his own words, he's like, I actually want GWS to win.
You can't be doing that.
He said, I couldn't care what my punishment is. I just want to see Owen do a punishment. Those were his words. So I suppose, Owen, do you want to return fire to...
That's what the fans want, though.
I don't care. Whatever.
He's lost too much at this point.
I'm just at a low point right now with a lot of things. Supercoach and said any tips wrong, and I guess kind of saying that stuff behind my back. But look, we move on, and Connor, well, I hope your punishment is as severe as mine. I guess, yeah.
All right. I reckon it's almost about par, actually. So we'll start off with Connor. You're a man of many talents. You can sing, at least think so. You could get up on the worker stage and put on a show there. But we are going to be testing your gymnastic talents in the near future. As suggested by Jazz, shout out to Jazz. You will have to do a cartwheel, I believe, in the Agora.
Absolutely, yeah. With lots of viewers.
Well, that's a punishment?
Yeah, because, Connor, can you do a cartwheel?
Definitely not. I'm not there.
You will have
Don't
to
have the flexibility and athleticism for that sort of stuff. But, I'm nervous. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But as you have to, I'll do it. And I'll probably end up injured, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, I mean...
I don't know what the cartwheel is.
We'll video it, and,
like a handstand, but you spin or something like that.
There's a bit of a barrier here. We'll video it, obviously. It'll surface on TikTok at some point, man, I believe. And look, we can only hope. I've got a man sitting on the left of me that really hopes that it does go viral and gets the pin.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go viral, we stay with...
Wait, this
you're in the fine line.
It's not as bad as that. It can't be as bad as that.
Well, it's...
I think it will stay with...
Nah, I've got one wrong. He got two.
That's what people have been waiting for.
Nah, you can't gang up on me.
Well, it's... we've been receiving a lot of private DMs from different parties.
For real?
Yeah. There's been people that have sent messages that haven't responded to the poll on the story, but they want to slide it in and that's part of the surprise.
Can I know at least once I know the punishment? Who's
you
Well,
can
not the right?
Yeah, he has the right to know once the punishment has been handed down who enforced that brutality.
Well, said people want your head. I think that's safe to say.
I'm actually sweating.
Yeah, that's why I went with Connor's punishment first and not yours. But yeah, I mean, I suppose we should reveal it, shall we?
Get into it, Mansell.
Blair, I will give you the honours because.
Well, why?
What?
So is Blair suggesting?
Well, it's sort of a joint. I mean,
It was a bit of a mutual agreement.
I don't know if we've completely. Like, I'm unsure what your views are currently right now on what it is, man.
Well, alright, so...
It's like a bit of a mashup, this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mashup because...
For one tip wrong.
Yeah,
it's a mashup. No one said brutal.
Safe to say, Owen, I left this, I took this out of my hands because I didn't want to be dealt with this because I know there's a few boys that, want to deal with you rather than me. So...
Well, I mean, does Hugo want to lay down the law?
Well, yeah, Hugo actually messaged me with pretty much what you told me, so...
And I'm happy to follow with Hugo.
Does Connor know this? Does Connor know about it?
I reckon we do that one if he gets the second one wrong.
Okay,
we'll stick with your one.
Okay, we'll stick with mine. All right.
Oh my god, you've really thought about this.
So, okay, I can propose it. So there is an image that circulated of Owen some time ago. His head was in front of some nature, a nice bit of greenery. That will be his profile pic on Facebook for exactly 1 month approximately. And then he can remove it.
Are you serious?
The profile, and I have it cropped to fit for you, which I'll send through it, at the conclusion of this episode, and then we expect in due time, the hours following the podcast, that it will be put up on Facebook.
So we're doing a month, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
And let me just say that there's other images out there that could be next if you get another punishment.
A month?
It's only 30 days.
Nah.
Depending on the month. 31 maybe.
Serious.
Only for sort of the entirety of June.
That's so mean.
I believe we have June tomorrow, so once we get into July, you're...
Time and place, boys.
I don't know what to say.
That's really harsh.
Rules are rules.
That's really harsh.
I think just be grateful that we didn't pick another one that there was certain people advocating for.
What do you mean?
There was another image which I think you're well aware of that has never surfaced on your Facebook by request of yourself. And that's...
But no one knows it except you boys, so it's obviously just you boys are the ones DMing each other.
Well, it's in the pipeline, so don't get another one wrong.
That's incredibly harsh. Like,
man, just laid down the law. I'm like,
that's whatever. I don't know what to say.
But the nature was cute, so if that's any justification.
No.
It was actually the one with the eagle behind, not the boys. So don't know what. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's move on from that. It's cricket noise, but
Saturday it was a bit of an eventful day down at Latrobe. Connor playing in the Rezzies, Hugo played in the seniors, and then I suppose what transpired on Saturday night. But Connor, I suppose we'll start with you in the Rezzies game, and you've got a bit to talk about with that game and some events that that happened there and all that stuff. So I'll leave it to you.
Obviously footy Saturday. Unfortunately, we played Hawthorn. That was the first time we played them since round one. Unfortunately, copped another loss, which is nothing new, unfortunately. But look, I'd probably say this a little bit every week, but I genuinely felt that we were in the game for large parts and just didn't capitalise on the scoreboard, which would have had us a bit of a lead. And then I think it was one quarter again, might have been the third. Yeah, I reckon it might have been the third quarter. We just kind of got blown out a bit, and it ends up being 45, 50 points. But there's been a lot of games where we've sort of been better than that and more competitive. But then again, we're still missing plenty of players, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get our best team on the park at the right time of year. So, we're just going to have to make do with what we've got, I think. But, yeah, that was disappointing. But I think what you guys were alluding to as well, copped a hit, fair hit just before half-time. Ball was on the grandstand side, club room side. Sort of overran it, kind of bounced away from me a little bit, I guess. And this guy just wasn't really looking at the footy and launched at me, copped me in the head. I go down, big hip and shoulder, down for a little bit. I wasn't feeling great. Then the siren sounds, and it was free kicking 50 metres at the time. They didn't report it, which, I don't know, I think if you saw it well enough, you would have, it was certainly reportable.
Yeah.
It's quite a grim hit.
But, yeah, we ended up missing the shot. Can't remember who took it, to be honest. But, then
missed a fair bit.
Went into half-time, wasn't feeling great, but I thought I'd come out third quarter, see how I felt, and I was feeling a bit better. So I ended up playing out the rest of the game, which was a positive. I played all right, so that was good. But after the game, didn't feel too great when I was doing the boundary. But I know the next day I felt all right after that, so that's positive. I think it could have been far worse, and I could have really got a serious injury from it. But for a large part of this week, my neck and nose as well, mouth, split my lip, has been sore. So, but it could have been far worse than what it was. But another loss.
Yeah. No, he battled hard, Connor, all day in the midfield, and obviously, come off at that point with a bit of blood. For those that didn't see the incident, was on footage, so I'm sure we can manage to get that up on the socials. Not to promote that sort of stuff, definitely, with a bit of a trigger warning for those that are affected by it in their past. I'm there, but but Connor was best on, for those that didn't know. So had a good crack, and I guess we'll have a chat about the seniors as well.
Yeah, well, Owen, not Owen, Hugo. Hugo. You two also had a bit of a day out. I mean, you'll probably deny it anyway, but
You will.
But you two also were recognised for your efforts on the field, and I suppose talk us through your game.
Oh yeah, well it was a tough start to the game. Quarter time, I think we were 34-0. So it was always going to be rough, but no, we fought back hard. I think we lost by about 65 or so points in the end, which probably didn't reflect about. We had really good patches where I thought at times we were going to run over the top of them, but we just couldn't get the job done. But good fight from the boys, and we got Elston this week, and I think they're top of the ladder, so that could be better. But we pray, and we'll fight on another week before the bye.
Another tough outing. Yeah, I heard word that you've been signed on at Latrobe for 10 years on a big 10-year deal, and are the next Matt Ogle. What are your thoughts on those claims?
I've been stitched up by Rick there, the coach. Pre-game, he just said, we hope you can be the ruckman for the next 10 years or so. And so the boys have run with it, that I've signed a 10-year deal. If I have, I would like to see a bit of coin come through. But, that's all right. It's a bit of a stitch-up, but we'll run with it.
Well, I mean, Greg's got the merch, so, I mean, he's there for the long haul, and so are you, I think. So, we're looking forward to the next, I guess, era of Hugo as the big man for...
Well, hopefully I'm there for 10 years, but we'll see how we go.
Well, this actually then transpires into Saturday night. I suppose I invited myself to the iPod Shuffle night. It was a good night. Turns out it's been a bit of a super spreader event by...
by all reports. Significant amounts of COVID at the venue.
Yeah. We then look into it and enjoyed ourselves there. And I had to leave early because I was umpiring the next morning, and it was going to be an early start. Back at the venue actually at Latrobe.
You should have slept there, mate.
Funny you say that. So I left there about 10, and had to get stuff sorted and everything like that. And probably about 15 minutes before I left, Hugo goes to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll leave around the same time as you do, right?" I'm like, Yeah, no, it sounds good. And as I'm about to leave, I see Hugo taking photos with some of the Latrobe faithful, signing autographs and all that kind. And so that told me, yeah, no, he's not coming home with me or leaving at the same time. I get back the next morning, and you know, I'm at the venue. Untouched is playing in the background, and Hugo's still taking photos and signing autographs. Man, yeah. Do you want to explain your actions?
Well, Patrick Cripps during the week we've all seen took to Instagram to have a shot really at Caroline Wilson, and I will be doing the same thing to Jackson Mansell because that's a load of horse crap. But
were you not taking photos?
I had one photo with Gaz, and that was the only photo for a bit of a piss take. But
I beg to differ.
I'm asking for a friend. Can I have a copy?
It's on Gaz's Instagram.
No, I'll find it. I'll track it down if it hasn't expired yet. But.
Yeah, I don't think you came back, did you?
When?
Did you say you came back at the end when the Veronicas were playing?
No. I was making a joke that I got there the next morning and still playing. Yeah, you guys were still kicking on at 8:30 in the morning, so.
Yeah, we wanted to, but we had to pull the plug at some point.
Yeah.
Me and Rhonda had a good feed at Macca's with a couple other boys, which was good.
Yeah.
The old Kingsbury Drive Macca's.
Rhonda, your thoughts on the night?
Yeah, look, obviously, like you said before, been a bit of a super spreader, which wasn't great with COVID and stuff. Who knows what that'll look like for this weekend with our teams and stuff like that. But I feel good, which is a positive. Me and Hugo and yourself didn't get anything from it. Touch wood. But yeah, good night. A few games of beer pong. Then yeah, good Macca's feed afterwards, and good to talk to a few people, and good Macca's feed afterwards with I think it was Pikey and Regan, and there was a lot of funny conversation to be had there, and Blakey as well was there. So it was a good night.
Yeah. We'll move on to basketball on Sunday, and another win. This time getting it done over the Donut Kings, and a pretty good all-round performance, talking defensively and everything like that. And I suppose we'll start off with you. What are your thoughts on our performance and how we went?
Yeah, no, we did well. A good win. We wore the purple Guernsey this week around.
Which I like that.
Yeah, definitely a favourite of mine. But good win. Slow start, I think, for both teams. Both teams were missing some gettable shots, but I think definitely Blair and Connor were the best for us, scoring really nice 2-pointers in the paint. Hugo, once again, great with the rebounds. Meso, myself, Jackson as well, we all chipped in. So, it's a good performance, and, yeah, undefeated since week 1 of grading. So, we're definitely team chemistry's up there, and we're finding a role, which is really good.
And I'm sure the viewers would be pleased to know that there were no fights this week.
There was a little.
There was one simmering away, but I think we detonated it quite well.
If that's what we're getting, if that's what we get every week, I'm happy because no drama. The team were pretty cool and
mostly good blokes, and
so we'll take that considering history shows that we kind of get into fights every week. But no, it was good win, and looking forward to next week. And
a full complement as well we had this week, so second time that we've had all 6 players playing at the same time.
Yeah, all the individuals out on the court, which was good, and like Owen said, team chemistry was up. I reckon we're starting to get used to playing with each other, and on any given day, if our defense is like that, sides aren't going to score many against us at all. They were just firing away from outside all night, and the odd one would drop, but I think we've got a lot of improvement as well. So I think take away from that game, good win, held on, fought hard, held on to the 7 points. Everyone played really well, and passes, and like I said, everyone chipped in. So it was actually really good to be a part of it.
Yeah, and and this week we're playing against the Mole High Wildcats, which are the team who forfeited against us couple of weeks ago, and now we're playing 8:50, quarter 2, same time, same
8:50. Jeez.
Yeah.
Might have to have a day nap before that one, just so I can make sure I get up. It's past the bedtime for me. I'm only a little fella, so anyway, that'll be good because I guess we don't really know what to expect with them. With the whole comp, really, we don't really know what to expect because obviously we're in section 2 of the 3, so we didn't think we'd be up in there, but we seem to be competing pretty hard and mixing it well against some of the teams. So all positives right now for the Unique Individuals basketball team.
Currently second on the ladder as well.
Yeah, just behind percentage, eh?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we'll get stuck into the sports talk, I reckon. We'll have we'll look at the AFL, the action this week, and the second part of Sir Doug Nicholls' round, and we'll get stuck in Friday night's game, and the Blues kicked 6-15 in a 26-point loss to the Swans. Charlie Curnow, 1 goal, 3. Harry Mackay, 3 behind from 5 scoring shots. And I'll start with you. How does Harry Mackay sort of get out of this slump? He's kicked 2-7 in the last 3 games from 11 shots on goal. Just want to get your thoughts.
Simply just learn how to kick a drop punt. I think
do the big sticks.
Yeah, I think on the Sunday Footy show, Matthew Lloyd was showing the simple way of how to kick a drop punt and just basically just drop it on your boot and have your momentum going forward. And they analysed how he sways the ball when he's running into goal and his momentum's going to the left because he's a left footer. Therefore, the ball goes out leftwards. So simply the time I went to the press conference at Carlton, he was practicing dribble kicks, and I said to shout to Macca, I said, this is not going to help him. He needs to work on the simple 20-30 metre drop punts directly in front of goal. So simply just at training, that's all we should really be working on. And obviously taking the contested marks, he dropped a few gettable ones against Sydney on the last weekend, but simply needs to just learn how to kick it simple, stick to the basics, because his confidence is rattled at the moment.
And Rhonda, do you reckon the drop punt's the way to go for Harry Mackay?
Yeah, definitely. He's really struggled. I saw he'd only kicked 14 goals in 11 games, and obviously it should have been more than that because he's missed a lot and kicked a lot out in the full. But it just seems like his routine's almost different every time. Sometimes he takes 15 seconds to, run in. Sometimes he takes a whole 30. A lot of the time he looks to try to snap it where he can and just doesn't comfortable with the drop punters at all. He used to kick all the snaps, but now he's starting to belly the ball and kick them everywhere. But, I don't know, he's struggling, and it epitomises sort of how the team's going a little bit as well. They're struggling, but, hopefully he can just get it right for his sake and the team's sake, because he should be kicking a lot more goals. And really, he's not far off the prime of his career, so he should be playing a bit of better footy and doing more for how much they're paying him, I guess.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier for the Blues. They've got Melbourne on Friday night, followed by Essendon before they go into the bye. We'll move on to the Saints and Hawks game, much to Hugo's trepidation. And, Hugo, you said a couple of weeks ago that shouldn't be worried about the Saints at the moment after their loss to Adelaide. I suppose now losing to Hawthorn, does your mindset change there, or are you still optimistic?
Well, I'm still optimistic. I'm more on the fence now, though. I think the bye will do us good because we look real tired at the moment, which you can sort of expect from a young list. It was disappointing. Haven't watched the replay yet. I was playing at Latrobe at the same time as the Saints game, so I was a bit shocked when Blair told me at full time that the Saints had lost.
And didn't have your phone on the bench as well, so...
I played 100% game time, so...
Cal Wilkie.
Didn't stop you when we played basketball a couple of weeks ago, but... Yeah.
No, it's not the news you want to really hear when you come off from Tony Sheehan Oval after running a full 100% game time, out and a tough loss, and then, at least you go, well, I've got one reason to smile, my Saints got up, and then someone rips that out of you. So, it's pretty brutal to address the news to you and Goldie, but it had to be done.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think it's the same problem at the moment with the Saints. Just the clearance game has been dreadful. We look alright when we get it up forward to Max, but from what I've been told, the delivery into him was pretty substandard, and we still managed to kick 4 goals from Maxi boy. But we need to. And Hunter Clark getting injured, you feel sorry for the blokes. We had one of the most luckless sort of 3-year periods you've ever seen. But nah.
Don't know why you're laughing.
Because you see you smiling. I know what you're doing, but nah. And I love Hunter, so I think he's a gun.
Pulls at the heartstrings a bit.
It does. You do tear up a little bit when you hear the news he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Which thank God it wasn't an ACL or anything like that. But no, there's starting to get a bit worried. But I think we should be okay. Ross isn't going to put up with anything less than a great standard as a coach. So hopefully we make the right course of selection, because any Saint fan will tell you no one can understand why Windhager's still in the VFL. He's been averaging about 36 there in the last 3 weeks and hasn't got a gig. Other blokes like Sabros, so it's time for the Saints to start kicking in the gear.
Yeah. Blair, I suppose your thoughts on the Saints, and can the Hawks build on this win, this confidence booster?
Yeah, just quickly, I mentioned how good the games were on Saturday. If you look at, that's 10 points. D's 7-point the game they lost by. Geelong lost by 7 as well to Giants, and then it was 7 points for Doggies and Gold Coast as well. So minus the Eagles, which is, pretty grim at the moment. Sort of the bye. It's like Ronda in the Supercoach. But Saints, look, yeah, you're starting to get a bit, a bit nervous probably for them. They started so well, and now, in the last sort of month of footy, they've really, there's been a real sort of evident drop-off. Hawthorn, I don't think they're going to worry too many teams. They'll obviously take confidence out of that. And, kicking 88 against the Saints probably haven't conceded too many scores, pushing towards 100 this year, especially in their wins. So, but a bit nervous if I was Hugo, to be honest.
Yeah, just quickly on the Hawks. We were talking about the Sunday footy show before, not footy show, but Channel 9's footy stuff. Saw Caroline Wilson said she took back about what she said about Hawthorn, which sort of reminded me of a conversation Blair, Owen and I had a couple of weeks ago after uni one day, and we were talking about the rebuild and going for a premiership and just sort of bottoming out completely versus sort of hovering around 5th to 6th for 10 or 15 years and not really getting a great crack, only getting like 1 year crack at the premiership. I want to know your boys' opinion, because I know you both in the favour of sort of hovering around 5th to 6th every year. What do you think on Hawthorn's strategy now? Does it look a lot better than it did at the start of the year? They're now starting to get on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, it's always a hard one. Either way you go, if it doesn't work out, people say you should have went the other way. It's hard because no supporter wants to see your side crap for a few years, even if it's for the long-term gain. I can kind of vouch for that. In this situation like Richmond, that's the way I view it, is because of the situation my team's in. I don't want to see us lose for years. But I think it's, it's not a bad way to go about it, is to get a lot of young talent in, go through the hard times. And Hawthorn, they're starting to get it. They've got a good list. They've got some good young fellas. If they get once they get the right recipe, sort of, there's a lot of upside there. But I still, as a Tigers fan, I don't want to see us like what Hawthorn have been the last few years, even if it ends up being good. So, I've had my fun, but I'd still rather just be competitive each time. But, it's each to their own, really. And it's whenever clubs make that decision to go, okay, now's the time. And I think Richmond are definitely sort of starting to think that, with the way we've went this year, because I heard talk that we're trying to, do a few things, shuffle a few things around to try and get a first-round draft pick back that we traded away. Hawthorn, I think they're on the right track, definitely.
Yeah. Owen, thoughts?
I hate Hawthorn, so I don't care. I'm happy to see them doing bad, and yeah, I'd rather, again, I wouldn't change my mind. I'd rather be on the pointy end of every season, and I hope Hawks suffer for many years to come.
Very cool.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, well, I suppose then, speaking about a team that you do love in the Cats, we obviously saw that the Giants managed to win their third straight at GMHBA, 7-point win. Owen, I'm going to rattle off a couple of things to you. So they've lost their last three, the Cats, and they're one game, I think, out of the 8. They've got the Dogs this week at Marvel, and then the 10 of their last 12 games are against top 10 sides. Sydney's not included in that. Are you worried about Geelong at all?
No.
No?
No.
Is there a
Care
reason?
to elaborate on that?
I feel like we do better against the better teams. Pretty much all our games after the bye at home. We've got a lot of injuries at the moment, and most of them are coming back hopefully soon, especially more of our senior players. So I'm not worried. I think we'll make finals. I'm not saying we're going to be like we were last year by any means, but I'd rather make finals than, bottle out and finish outside the 8. So again, once we get some of our players back, like Danger, I don't know how long Cam Guthrie's out for, but we've had a lot of injuries, and we just need a few of our more senior players to come back in. And I think, I don't know, we got a lot of games home still to come, so that will obviously help. I mean, I know we lost to GWS at home, but I wouldn't say I'm worried by any means, no.
Yeah, fair enough. And Connor, obviously, we were watching the game together. What were your thoughts on how the game played out?
It's fascinating that GWS have won the last 3. Was it the last 3 at GMHBA?
Yeah.
Against Geelong, or right.
Well, obviously it's against Geelong because that's the only team they play at GMHBA.
I don't know, but have all 3 been at GMHBA? Like all 3 of those games?
I believe it's the 3 at GMHBA. Yes.
Oh right, yeah. Well, yeah, it's interesting because I guess teams just match up well against others, and obviously GWS do, but I don't know. They've played some alright games. Giants have played some alright games this year, so you almost feel like they're not as bad as I know what the ladder position says. But yeah, like Owen said, Geelong played a lot of games at home in the second half of the year, and if they get a few boys back, I think they're making the top 8. It's just whether they can be really competitive and challenge for the flag, or whether they're just a 5 to 8, maybe go a couple of weeks into the finals and sort of filter out from there. But I wouldn't be worried about Geelong. They're certainly not playing as well as what they have in previous years, but they've held themselves to some pretty high standards now for years. So there was always going to be a drop off at some stage, and it might be as much based on injury as it is, how good the team actually is. But I think they've still got a bit to look forward to, Geelong probably.
Yeah. All right. Well, obviously Sunday's games. Port beat Richmond by 10 points. Collingwood over North by 35, and the Crows held on against Brisbane by 17 points. We'll look now into the first of the bye rounds in round 12, and I'm going to say the games, and then, boys, I want you to give me your tips and certainties. So we start off Friday night with the D's and the Blues at the MCG. Saturday Arvo, we've got Port against Hawthorn, the Eagles against the Pies, Bulldogs against Geelong, and Gold Coast over Adelaide. Those last 2 games on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, we have GWS and Richmond, and Essendon and North Melbourne under the Dome. Owen, we'll start off with you. Your tips and your certainty, please.
God save me for this week. All right. I'm going to go D's over Carlton, Port over Hawthorn, Collingwood over West Coast, and that's my certainty. And honestly, if Collingwood can't beat West Coast, there's a major problem.
Well, the Eagles have a
Don't
one-game
tell
win.
Don't care. Geelong over Bulldogs. Ooh. Crows over the Suns. BWS over Richmond and Essendon over North.
Hugo?
I'll go D's over Carlton, Port over Hawthorn, Collingwood over West Coast, and I reckon like most of the other boys, that's going to be my certainty. Feel like if we all lose this, we're going to lose this together. Alright, Doggies over Geelong. I go Suns over Crows, Giants over the Tigers, North over Essendon.
Yeah, D's to beat Carlton, Port to beat Hawthorn. You know, like the boys said, Pies to beat West Coast. If that's not something certain in life, I don't know what is. The Dogs to beat the Cats at Marvel, and the Suns to beat the Crows. Bailey Humphrey with 26 and 2 goals. And obviously the Tigers are going to back the boys in, and the Dons will beat North convincingly on Sunday.
Connor?
And Saints will get the 4 points.
Aye.
Yeah. I'll go Melbourne to beat Carlton Friday night. Port Adelaide to beat Hawthorn. Obviously playing pretty well. Collingwood to beat West Coast, and geez, West Coast $12.50. That's remarkable. Yeah, that'll be the certainty. Yeah, if we're gonna come crashing down, we'll do it together. So, I think Geelong will beat Western Bulldogs. I reckon. Geez, this is a tough one. I reckon Gold Coast might knock them off. They've played obviously last week at TIO Stadium, so I have a bit of an advantage there. Richmond to beat GWS. Hopefully we can get on the right side of one. And Essendon to beat North Melbourne.
Alrighty. Well, those are the tips for the round. Did you want my certainty now? Or?
Absolutely, we want your certainty right now.
I'm going to go to Sunday. I'm going to go the Penrith Panthers over the St George Illawarra Dragons.
You're an absolute coward.
Oh,
I don't know what it means, but just the groan from Hugo. I just don't.
Penrith.
That's
the
coward.
first
It's
and the
almost
Dragons are
the
last.
situation.
Well, the thing is that you guys have done the same thing, Collingwood over West Coast this week. So, just remember who you're calling a coward then in that situation.
No, you go for
Geez, it
Boston.
is a first
You're
and
a coward.
last situation, but I don't know. I guess it's a smart choice, but
Mansell,
Go St. George.
I'm surprised you turned up, Mansell, today, because I mean, we're probably going to get into the NBA next. Is that right?
Well, we're going to do Supercoach first.
Actually, yeah, let's get
before we go into the NBA. That's a me move there for getting the Supercoach. But Owen, take it away.
Can someone else take it away?
we
It
don't even need to talk about
Well,
it.
let's not give it to Connor to take away.
Look, alright, fine, I'll talk about it a bit. Actually, no, don't worry. Blair, you can talk about it. It's been a good week for you.
Yeah.
A good off week too. You know.
Yeah. Well, if
After Sunday night.
if beating Owen this week didn't bump me up enough.
Would you bet Owen?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. I now understand
No,
why.
I'm
No,
not
that's
upset
not
about that.
I know what you're talking about.
This is just the lunchtime league at the moment.
Yeah, like who cares? Everyone's made finals.
There's
We're
a
still
battle within a battle.
We're still on top by 4 games. About. Well, what's that? No, 2. But
Same thing. It's like March and April.
Yeah, just like the Cats.
So honestly, you just gotta.
Your team's Cats back to back, and the way the Cats have been going is similar to the way your side's been going.
Blair, that's completely false.
No, it's not.
9 wins, 2 losses.
I'm
mate.
talking in recent times.
You're 5 and 6. You're like Geelong.
How many of your last 3 have you won?
Last 3 what? Games?
Yeah.
I'm 3 and 1 then.
I think
No,
you're,
2 and 1 because last 3 games. So I'm not good at maths.
I don't know. You lost on the weekend, just like the Cats. So by 100 odd points, I'm 3rd, which I mean Hugo won, but we don't really have to detail that.
I had 3
we can
injuries
detail
in
it.
my team.
Well,
Sean Darcy does a hammy. Nick Newman does a hammy too. And Will Power, I don't know what he's doing up at the Gold Coast with your mate Bailey Humphrey, but man, 60 points every week's not good enough, mate.
why is he in there?
Well, I took him out. There you go. And
Well, I take that to
Well,
heart.
anyway.
Good thing you didn't say that on the other potty because, mate, it's going to cause blood.
don't care.
Blood will be spilled.
And I had to take out.
He's angry. He's just like, let's detail the underlying. Let's address the elephant in the room, shall we?
Fine.
Connor scored another 1,500, mediocre week for him, but he has done a gift. He's given us a gift.
He's giving you a gift.
Well, potentially us, and now it's me.
It should have been me, but because I'm on the bottom of the waiver list every single week.
So Connor traded out Clayton Oliver. Look, maybe after footy he was a bit concussed and he just traded him out. I don't know what happened.
Should have just kept it, Connor.
But he got rid of him.
Didn't have a chance anyway.
And Sunday night, I never checked my Supercoach on it after the round.
Never.
Because I've had a pretty off year. I'm third, and I'm only beating Connor, which isn't much of an achievement. So I checked it and saw Clayton Oliver on the waiver list. Connor had traded him out. The number one pick in the entire draft at the start of the year, Clayton Oliver, averaging 124 points, and he's just didn't get up for this weekend. Connor thinking he's out for a month, trade him out. He's going to miss this weekend and he'll be back the following. And I snuggled him up. Unknowingly, I thought I was the only one. Did a little trade, got clarity in. And then, obviously, find out once I knew the trade went through, I absolutely berated Connor in the chat. Called him all sorts of names. And then, found out that Owen tried the same manoeuvre and it didn't quite work out.
Well, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm good and I'm on the bottom of the waiver order every week. That's unfair. Supercoach have to change that. It should be random.
KFC Supercoach, I think they want pink hair. I think that's what they want. I think that's what they want.
No, can you see my point? How if you're doing well, they should just change. They randomize the order every week.
It's just incredible that.
Can you see how it's unfair? Stop laughing at you. You can see how this is unfair. You have nothing to lose here. I didn't know all the T's and C's when I applied for this. I didn't realise.
Don't you usually look at the T's and C's before you actually accept it, or you just press the button?
Once Mansell was out of this competition, you were very confident.
I still am, but now that you've got Oliver, it makes it really even now. And all it takes is for you to make finals, which you will, and you'll probably be second or third, and you'll probably beat Hugo, and then you'll probably be against me in the grand final.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
Will not be... Wait, no. Is it 1v4 for finals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're guaranteed grand final.
Yeah.
Well, you never know though. You just
Connor just straight out.
Well, speaking about a finals contender, Connor, what were your thoughts about trading out Clayton Oliver?
Look, boys, it's you can say it's just me giving up, but I thought he was going to be gone for 5 or 6 weeks, and normally I'm onto that stuff with the injuries and whatnot, but clearly it wasn't this time, and made the fatal mistake. Can also blame it potentially on concussion, but hard. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. That's clear. Was one of the best players in the competition.
The best.
The best player that I had, probably. And now I don't really have an out-and-out superstar. Like Petrarca's, he's a little bit funny with Supercoach, a bit hit and miss. But, I've dug myself gradually into a huge hole. And it's one that I haven't been able to get out of. And, it's starting to cave in on me. And, I don't think I have much longer left.
I hate to admit it too, but since this Oliver move to play his team, I've been rattled. And I'll go through some of the trades that I've done this week. Luke Jackson in for Darcy Cameron.
Good trade.
Nick Blakely in for Will Powell.
Good trade.
Bailey Dale in for Nick Newman.
Mm.
Toby Green in for Bailey Smith. Mark Blitzarves in for Josh Kelly.
Ooh.
Todd Goldstein in for Sean Darcy. Dane Rampy in for Bailey Dale. So I brought in Bailey Dale, took him out again. Brought in Dangerfield, took out Blitzarves. He was in my team for about 10 minutes. Brought in Nank, Toby Nankervis, took out Goldstein. He was in my team for about 10 minutes too. And I think this morning, brought in Shannon Hearn, took out Nick Blakely. He was in the team for about 2 days. And so I can't do the math. That's about 10 trades though. All just because I know that Oliver's
Cousins Goat Cartel.
Poor man.
Oh, he's happy to be there. He's really happy to be there. He's on the bench for the 1 week, but it's incredible.
It's charity.
It's incredible. Connor's put it. The trade Connor did to get rid of Clayton Oliver. In John Newcomb, out Clayton Oliver.
That's right.
It's that's
It
hard.
sounds like I've created an absolute shitstorm. And look, maybe deep down I did it on purpose to just ruffle a few feathers and
Thanks a lot, Connor.
create a bit of anxiety amongst Owen and the potential of him or the prospect of him.
But you've already created anxiety in me with the stupid profile picture.
That's all right, mate.
If this helps get towards the pink hair, look, it's probably a win for us boys.
You can't gang up.
No, but to be fair, I didn't.
Since when?
He didn't gang up.
Yes, he did.
He didn't.
I didn't gang up. I gave up.
Oh, you guys live in the same house. I'm sure.
You wouldn't know. Nah.
Yeah, I reckon.
I didn't know he got rid of him.
It wasn't in.
I swear.
it wasn't.
You guys live in the same house.
mean
You would have
to.
just been like, "Hey, I've got rid of Oliver. You can bring him in your team, mate."
No, because
I know Owen's on the bottom of the
there
label.
was
No, I'll tell you why I didn't say anything and sort of puts that rumour to bed. Connor was lower than me on the waiver list, so I thought he was going to trade Clayton Oliver back in once he heard that he's only going to miss like another week. So when I traded Clayton Oliver in Sunday night, I didn't speak a word to anyone. I didn't mention it until Tuesday 4 a.m. Obviously I wasn't up at that hour. When I woke up Tuesday morning, first thing I did, got on Supercoach and saw him on my bench, and then I unleashed in the chat on Connor. So I didn't mention it to Connor because he would have just traded him back in. So that's why I was a bit nervous. I thought it might be a bit of a, like I did with Tom Stewart earlier in the year, trade him out, but then I'm bottom of the waiver, get him back in. So I kept it quiet, and fortunately it snuck past Connor. And Clayton, I just can't believe, like, the first pick in the whole draft. Like, if any of us had the first pick in the draft, we picked Clayton Oliver.
Was that one of his technical difficulty picks, or was it?
No, that was actually one of his real picks, and it's
Let's hope he does his knee when he comes back then.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've got to wish for. Hopefully,
I hope
it
even though I've
turns
got
out
Jeremy Cameron in my forward line, I hope he doesn't need.
I hope there's a play in your
me
team or
and
something.
bad for Blair, but
I hope the player in my team's
I don't
Jeremy
know.
Cameron.
I don't know what I was thinking at the time, and I got some serious issues upstairs at the moment.
Well, that's obviously been noted.
Miss, do you want to talk about NBA? I'd love to talk to you about it.
Okay.
No, I want to get obviously it's talking about, but yeah.
Well,
I'd love to get a bit of Connor's insight on Boston.
I suppose, Connor, if you want to give me a bit of your insight.
Take it away, champion.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with you on half of it anyway, but go for it.
Well, what can I say? It was always going to happen, wasn't it? You're down 3-0, get it back to 3-all. And the Celtics boys, they were arrogant. They were overly confident about it. I think they thought
we're going back home, back to Boston.
Off to Denver or wherever we're going next. But look, I've said it all along, and Al Horford, look, he's probably played a couple good games here and there, but my blinded hatred of the man has said that he hasn't. But it's a deciding game, and they were starting to win games and play well. They got the balance a bit better, but then the decider, you play Al Horford 34 minutes. But just 8 points, 8 rebounds, that's nothing special.
Yeah, that's
2
right.
assists, that's insipid. And then Robert Williams III, 14 minutes for the same amount of points. 6 boards, pretty much had the same stats in 20 less minutes. So I knew he was going to cost you eventually, and hopefully that's the end of his career. Thank you for being a consistently shit bastard. Good on you, but look, I reckon you would have thought the same. Why we're playing him so many minutes, and obviously a crucial thing with Tatum hurting the ankle on the first play didn't help. No. He said he was struggling. That's an excuse, whether he was or whether he wasn't. But I guess it doesn't help. But Miami, Calvin Martin just had a bit of inner Dom Sheed and become clutch. And
he brought back Dom Sheed at the same time until we got Boston. That's one of the more brutal.
Very good as well. So it was a beautiful, beautiful sight when I checked on the phone. that Miami had won and won handsomely.
Well, basketball related, I agree with you. I could not agree more. I don't like I've said to you probably for the whole playoffs. I don't understand why Robert Williams is not getting the big minutes over Al Horford. I don't understand that, but yeah, I mean, I suppose back on that arrogant point, it was a matter of who was more arrogant that won the game. Miami, I think, booked tickets to Denver without going past Miami, so there's that part there. But I just think that, I think to get us back into that series, because I think it was, 3-0, I think when we last had our episode, or 3-1 maybe. We used depth and defense to get back in the series, but Game 7 was just poor. It was piss weak. We looked dead in the last quarter pretty much. When the game was on the line, you get that big three-quarter time rev up and you just let blokes run around you, drive into the lane and everything like that. We couldn't shoot from 3. But my question is, I think I asked the same question to you blokes yesterday, but when's Jaylen Brown supposed to have this so-called breakout game? He's 26 at the moment or something, and Tatum obviously rolled his ankle in the first play of the game. You think it's a time for him to step up. Everyone's like, oh, this is going to be a breakout game and whatnot and everything like that. 19 points, 9 of 23 from field goals, 1 of 9 from 3, or pretty much. I was shooting better than that in the 3-point contest.
Oh yeah, maybe just.
8 turnovers and minus 17 when on the court. You have Tatum, who's on one leg, 14 points and 11 rebounds. I'm not saying get rid of the man, but seriously, when is he going to wake up to himself and take ownership? He wants all this massive contract and that. But according to the players in the media this year, he's the top 10, 15 player in the NBA, being picked in the All-NBA team. I just don't get it.
I think Jaylen Brown's got a better mindset than Tatum. I think Tatum can be too passive at times, and I think Jaylen Brown's more aggressive, but Tatum's got more talent.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a choke artist, really, Jason Tatum, but that's for another day. But no, just to defend Jaylen Tatum's 3-point
Jaylen
shooting.
Tatum.
Oh, Jaylen.
Hey, come on. Oh, you're morphing them all into one.
Well, he wants
to be fair, they were both
I tell you, he needs to go. Gallinari. Get him out of your squad.
He didn't play a game.
Point proven.
ACL.
He's a list clogger.
Yeah.
Mate, he passed. He was good at the Knicks in Denver when he was in his prime.
Would Boleyn think that you're a list clogger getting injured every week, or?
Mate, I still play out the whole game, but at least I play a physical sport.
Whoa.
Yeah, fair
But
call.
Gallinari needs to go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll say Jaylen Brown, 8 turnovers, mate.
Yeah.
Miami had 7
Yeah, I know.
for the game.
Yeah.
Give me a spell.
Yeah.
What are you doing, mate? Are you trying to lose?
What,
did he have a? No, did mate Brown have a Miami top underneath or?
I reckon he would be close to it, but
what's going on there?
You think breakout games, you want him to have a breakout game, but
8 turnovers. You couldn't do that if you tried.
Insipid.
Yeah, just to defend Jaylen Brown's 3-point shooting comments. There is a bit of a difference. Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals, shooting from 3, defenders in your face versus
the Trove Sports Centre lunchtime, no
open shots. A bit of a difference, a tiny bit, but
Just a little.
It's enough there.
Yeah. But there's a bit of a difference in the contracts as well. He's getting paid.
A little bit of difference in the shooting actions.
Paid probably, yeah, just a little. Mine's I don't even know what you call mine these days.
Well, ask J-Mac.
He got to say something, didn't he? Anyway,
Can I just give a quick shout out as well to Grant Williams? Another one of those insipid basketballs.
Loves the word insipid, doesn't he?
Nothing screams intimidation more than 16 minutes and 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, champ. So good on you, mate. Continue to look like a sore thumb and probably get yourself out of the league and have a good hard look at yourself. And maybe you'll just be serving fries at the Maccas to Jimmy Butler's kids for the next 10 years.
Almost single-handedly knocked us out of the playoffs. So well done, champ.
If you move on, Denver are going to murder Miami.
Yes, I was just about to go into there, but I honestly reckon it's more evenly poised than what it suggests. I was looking at it last night, and I'm thinking, I was just about going to agree with you. I'm like, yeah, I reckon, Denver are just going to be too strong. Like, no one's going to stop. Well, no one's going to stop Jokic. Adebayo's too undersized, but then I look at it, I'm like, who's going to stop Jimmy Butler? Like, if we look at that, like, you're almost like for like in terms of having one star against another. I will agree, Denver have more of a well-rounded starting five, but Miami have more depth and experience. Like, I think there was some ridiculous stat about Kevin Love. Like, every time he's been in the playoffs, they've made the finals, regardless of what team he's been on. But yeah, I mean, honestly reckon, I still reckon Denver are going to win it. Probably in 6 or 7. It's not going to be as even. It's not going to be as one-sided as what it's made out to be. But I reckon Denver in 6 or 7 and Jokic Finals MVP. But yeah, Blair.
The Joker's just going to have a laugh, I reckon. Look, the man, he can't be stopped. He does everything in the paint, and then you saw those sort of threes he's been hitting, the fallback ones. Whatever side you come up against, I mean, what are Miami, 7 or 8 seed, were they?
Yeah, they were 8 seed.
So, I mean, if the top 6 seed couldn't stop the Joker, I find it hard to believe that any side could even start to stop him. I think he's going to dominate. Jimmy Butler might too, but I think Denver are a pretty well-rounded side, and they should be able to get it done in 5. Yeah, I reckon.
And Jokic MVP.
Yeah, he'll have to. He'll just be sitting in the interview afterwards, and he probably won't even smile, but he'll know that he ripped the heart out of Miami.
Hugo?
I think the question on everyone's lips going into this series is who's going to stop Caleb Martin. Like, he's been on an absolute tear.
Martin and Vincent will have big series, I reckon, as well.
Absolute gun.
Good shooter.
Yeah. Having said that, I think Denver win. But I hope Miami win. I want to see Jimmy win. I think he would deserve it. It'd be really good for the NBA to see Jimmy win it. Cause,
Jokic can win another one.
Yeah, Jokic can definitely win another one. But it'd be good to see Jimmy win. He's gone to 3 different teams. He's never joined with a superstar. He's always done it on his own. Compared to like KD going to the Warriors, LeBron going to Miami with D-Wade and everyone.
So are you saying then that Embiid and Harden weren't really superstars when he was at the 76ers?
Well, Harden wasn't there when...
Simmons, I got it mixed up. But was Embiid not a superstar or something like that?
Well, I think we've come to see Embiid can't do much in the second round, really. He's not... You wouldn't really call him a superstar, given his playoff performances post the first round.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Denver win and Jokic gets the MVP.
How many games do you reckon Denver get it in?
I want to say 7-game series. I reckon that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Owen?
Yeah, I agree. All the boys' thoughts. Yeah, I think Denver will win, but yeah, it'd be good to see Miami win. Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a team game, but it just feels like he's carried, in a way, Miami all the way to the finals. So yeah, but it'll be good to watch. And Jokic, I reckon, finals MVP, win or lose. Yeah.
How many games do you reckon for Denver?
5, I reckon. Yeah, probably.
Connor, your finals prediction in how many games and the MVP?
I actually reckon Miami will win. I think they'll just continue the amazing ride they've had, obviously from coming from the play-in. Probably 7 games, I think. So I hope as well. I think it'll be an absolute thriller. And yeah, I mean, who else than Jimmy Butler for the MVP? I think he'll be the best man again and lead them to the championship. And I think Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent as well will have great series. And Bam's always he's always about contributing. But him on Jokic will be one of the biggest matchups as well. He can nullify Jokic, then probably goes a long way to winning as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. Owen, sign us off.
We're not going to be here next week, are we? maybe, potentially.
Potentially, it's up in the air at the minute.
Well, anyway, but yeah, well, we'll work it out. But no, thank you to everyone for listening and watching. If you're on the YouTube, make sure to follow us on the socials, and maybe see you next week.